Every day, massive loads move across highways, wind turbine blades, industrial equipment, prefabricated buildings. These aren't things you can just strap onto a regular truck. They're enormous, unwieldy, and far too long or wide to navigate normal roads. So specialized heavy-haul trailers carry them, slowly creeping along highways with police escorts and traffic warnings. People pull over and stare as these enormous loads pass by. But most people miss the strangest part. Hidden underneath some of these trailers, inches from the asphalt, sitting in what looks like a suicide capsule, is a second driver. He's not in the main truck cab at the front. He's under the rear of the trailer, steering the back wheels independently. His job is to make tight turns possible for loads that would otherwise be physically impossible to maneuver. No airbags, no crumple zones, no protection if anything goes wrong. Just a seat, a steering wheel, and a few inches of clearance between him and the road surface, rushing by below. This is called a steer car, or steerable dolly, and it's one of the most dangerous jobs in trucking. But here's the strange part. This wasn't invented recently as some extreme solution to modern engineering challenges. Steer cars evolved from over a century of trailer innovation that started with a Scottish-American inventor trying to solve a completely different problem. So who were the engineers who made this possible? How did their inventions lead to drivers sitting under trailers? And why, despite all our modern technology, do we still put human beings in these death traps instead of automating the whole thing? To understand the steer car, we need to go back to 1898, when a man named Alexander Winton changed transportation forever. Alexander Winton was born in Scotland in 1860 and immigrated to America, where he became one of the early automobile manufacturers in Cleveland, Ohio. But Winton had a problem. He was building cars faster than he could deliver them. Driving each car individually to customers was time-consuming and added unnecessary mileage. He needed a way to transport multiple vehicles efficiently. In 1898, Winton invented the first semi-trailer, a wheeled platform that could be towed behind a vehicle. He sold his first manufactured semi-truck in 1899. This was revolutionary. Instead of each vehicle traveling under its own power, multiple vehicles could be transported together. But Winton's early trailers were short and simple. They didn't need complex steering systems because they were maneuverable enough with just the front vehicle doing the steering. As loads got heavier and longer, other inventors built on Winton's concept. In Detroit, a blacksmith named August Charles Fruehauf produced his first trailer in 1914 for lumber dealer Frederick Sibley. Fruehauf saw the commercial potential and founded the Fruehauf Trailer Company in 1918, which would become one of the dominant forces in trailer manufacturing. That same year, 1918, John C. Enderbrock developed what he called the Trailmobile, a trailer designed so a single operator could hook it to a car. Before Enderbrock's innovation, connecting a trailer required 3 men. This made trailers more practical for everyday commercial use, and the industry began to expand rapidly. But as trailers got longer and heavier through the 1920s and 1930s, a critical problem emerged. The connection between the towing vehicle and the trailer, the pivot point that allowed them to turn, needed to be stronger and more reliable. Early connections were crude and often failed under heavy loads. This problem was solved by Herman Farr, who applied for a patent for the fifth wheel on June 4, 1915. He received US patent number 1,169,717 on January 25, 1916. Farr's fifth wheel was a horizontal plate mechanism that allowed smooth pivoting between the truck and trailer while supporting enormous weight. He partnered with Charles H. Martin to form the Martin Rocking Fifth Wheel Company in late 1915. The Fruehauf Company, seeing the value of this innovation, had their own engineers work on a competing design. Led by E.F. Hartwick, Fruehauf's engineering team created and patented their own fifth wheel by late 1919. This competition drove rapid improvements in trailer technology. Through the 1920s and 1930s, innovators like 𝗤𝗓𝗏 took vehicle hauling to new levels. 𝗏𝗏 developed a 4-car auto-trailer pulled by a 2-ton Dodge truck, demonstrating that trailers could carry multiple large items simultaneously. But as trailers grew longer, stretching to 20, 30, and eventually 50 meters or more for industrial equipment, a fundamental physics problem became impossible to ignore. The longer the trailer, the wider the turn radius. A 40-meter trailer simply couldn't navigate city streets or factory yards. The rear wheels would track far outside the path of the front wheels, making tight turns impossible. The breakthrough came when engineers realized that if the rear wheels could steer independently opposite to the front wheels, the trailer could essentially pivot around its center. The front wheels turn left, the rear wheels turn right, and the whole load rotates in place or navigates a much tighter turn. The first steerable rear axles in the late 1800s and early 1900s were operated manually. A worker would walk alongside the wagon, turning a hand crank or pulling levers that mechanically steered the rear wheels. This was brutally dangerous. Workers were crushed regularly when they slipped or when wagons turned unexpectedly. By the early 1900s, as motorized trucks replaced horse-drawn wagons, the system evolved. Instead of a worker walking alongside, a driver would ride on the rear of the trailer, operating the steering mechanism from a small platform. This was marginally safer, but drivers were still exposed to the elements with minimal protection. The modern enclosed steer car emerged in the 1950s and 1960s as loads became even larger. Wind turbine components, aerospace equipment, and industrial machinery required trailers that were 50 meters or longer. At these lengths, rear-wheel steering became essential, not optional. Engineers developed the enclosed steer car, a small, low-profile cabin built into the rear of the trailer. The driver sits in this cabin just inches above the road surface, with a steering wheel and sometimes brake controls. They communicate with the front driver via radio, coordinating their steering inputs to navigate turns. The steer car driver's job is brutally difficult. They can't see much. Their visibility is limited to what's directly ahead of their position under the trailer. They're relying on radio communication with the front driver and sometimes with spotters on the ground. They have to steer opposite to what seems intuitive. When the front is turning left, they often need to turn right, and they're doing all this while traveling backwards, with their face just inches from asphalt, moving at whatever speed the convoy is traveling. If anything goes wrong, if the trailer tips, if there's a collision, if the load shifts, the steer car driver has almost no chance of survival. They're in the worst possible position, with no protection, no escape route, and no way to influence what the main truck does. Modern steer car designs have improved safety somewhat. The cabins are stronger, with roll cages and reinforced structures. Some have emergency escape hatches. Communications are better, with video cameras showing the steer car driver what's happening at the front and sides of the load. Some systems have hydraulic or electronic steering assists that reduce the physical effort required. But the fundamental danger remains. You're still under a massive load, inches from the ground, traveling through traffic with minimal protection. The job attracts a specific type of person, someone comfortable with extreme risk, who has exceptional spatial awareness and coordination skills, and who can stay calm under pressure. Here's where the story gets interesting. With all our modern technology, remote controls, cameras, automated steering systems, why do we still use human drivers in steer cars? Why hasn't this job been automated? The answer is that it's harder than it looks. Steering the rear of a heavy haul trailer requires constant adjustment based on road conditions, terrain, traffic, and the behavior of the load itself. The driver isn't just following a predetermined path. They're making hundreds of micro-corrections, responding to how the load is shifting, how the trailer is flexing, and what obstacles are appearing. Attempts have been made to automate steer car functions. Some modern systems use electronic steering controlled by the front driver via joystick or computer. Some use GPS and automated guidance to steer the rear wheels based on the planned route. But these systems struggle with unpredictable situations, uneven road surfaces, unexpected obstacles, or load shifts that require immediate human judgment. For now, many heavy-haul companies still rely on human steer car drivers for the most challenging loads. The human driver can react to situations that automated systems would struggle with. They can communicate with the front driver about what they're seeing and feeling. They can make judgment calls about whether a turn is safe. But this is changing. As sensor technology improves and as AI becomes better at handling complex dynamic situations, automated steer car systems are becoming more reliable. Some companies have already phased out human steer car drivers entirely, relying on electronic steering systems with multiple cameras and sensors. The economic pressure to automate is enormous. Steer car drivers command high wages because of the danger and skill involved. They require extensive training, and the liability of putting humans in such dangerous positions is significant. Insurance costs alone make automation attractive. The industry is split. Some companies are all in on automation. Others maintain teams of highly skilled steer car drivers for their most challenging loads. And some use a hybrid approach, automated steering for routine situations, with human drivers available for the most difficult scenarios. What's certain is that the steer car, in its current form, with a human driver sitting inches above the asphalt, is disappearing. Within a decade or two, it will likely be a historical curiosity, something old-timers talk about when describing how dangerous the job used to be. The technology that made steer cars necessary started with Alexander Winton's 1898 semi-trailer invention. It advanced through Ch. Frühhof's 1914 commercial trailers. It was enabled by Hermann Farr's fifth-wheel patent in 1916 and refined by engineers like 𝗢𝗛𝗣𝗏𝗡𝗥 at Frühhof, and it evolved through John C. Enderbrock's 1918 trailmobile innovations. Each of these inventors solved a specific problem, and together their solutions created an industry that eventually required human beings to sit under massive loads in positions no reasonable safety standard would allow today. So the next time you see a massive load on the highway, take a closer look at the rear of the trailer. You might notice a small cabin, barely visible, with a person inside doing one of the most dangerous jobs in transportation. And you'll realize that this dangerous job exists because of over a century of innovation that started with a Scottish-American inventor trying to figure out how to deliver cars more efficiently. From Alexander Winton's 1898 semi-trailer to today's automated steering systems, the evolution has been remarkable, and the human element is finally being engineered out of existence.